So during this match, by the way, with Bagwell, it's announced that you're going to take on none other than Randy Savage on WCW Saturday Night, Arn. The match was recorded on January 10th, but it doesn't air till the 28th of January, thanks to the television taping schedule. So technically, Arn, you had Randy Savage's first match, but the main event of Clash of Champions takes place 3 days before they actually air your match from on WCW Saturday Night. And you had talked about this before when we brought up Savage. But you were right. You were the first person to really wrestle him that would end up on it was a televised match. It just was would be played later after Clash of Champions. So there you go. He defeats you with the flying elbow smash, but did so after the 10-minute mark, which was the time limit for the championship matches at that point. Therefore, you lost the match, but not the TV title. That's a pretty creative way for Savage to win and you to keep the title, wouldn't you say?
That's what made the TV title so special. Another thing people need to know is when the time limit ran out, didn't matter what happened, you could get beat right in the middle of the ring. But it was if it was a tie, technically, there's no such thing as a tie. They had to raise your hand. So you didn't have to actually beat anybody. They had to beat you. But it made for an exciting 8 minutes gone, 2 minutes left. If you understand what I mean.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. The countdown is on as the crowd were totally invested to see what happens at the end of that match. I got to ask while we're talking about Randy here, because he's known as a perfectionist. Have you ever worked with another wrestler with better attention to detail than Randy Savage, Arn, in your career?
No, and that's what it took for him to be comfortable. And if he had earned that at that point when the conversation was happening, if he had more time in than me, if he was better suited, that I should just pull up a chair and sit down and listen to what he had to say and try my best to accommodate him. Had that been someone else that was trying to pull that, sorry guys, I can't remember all that stuff. You're causing me to cram for a test that right. I'm not going to do. I'll go if I know the answers. I'm gonna write them down, and at the end of it, I'm pretty sure I'll get an A. But if it slips to a, B plus, it won't fall any further than that. By let's just let me call it as we go.
So knowing that he would kind of sketch it out, write it out, yellow pad it out, whatever you want to call it, with most of his opponents, would it ever be acceptable in wrestling, Randy, or did it ever happen where, hey, buddy, I just don't remember. I've crammed for the test and I forgot the answers. Would he just go to calling it, or what would that look like in the ring if you're with Savage and he's carefully scripted it and you just blank?
Well, if you were qualified to be there, then if you couldn't remember what y'all had talked about, you just did something else. Because guess who knew? You and him. That's it. Nobody else in that arena knew what it was supposed to be. So how could it be the right way or the wrong way?
But he wasn't so uptight where you'd catch around the shit about it later.
The water has run under the bridge. By the time you get backstage, what's he going to do? Chew me out for something that I didn't remember 15 minutes into the match, if I put something in place of it. I mean, what are you going to do? And I think him knowing that guys would have worked really hard to accommodate him because I guess they had to or felt like they had to, that he was okay if some of the stuff didn't come up. If you didn't remember some of the stuff, as long as you didn't melt down and just go blank. Hey, let's just wrestle. Get a hold. Yeah. If you go blank, get a hold. Get one on me. I'll get one on you. We'll work this out till we see how the audience is reacting to us. You never know. What we're doing now may have been better what we had at 2:00 this afternoon when you're sketching it out.
Yeah, I mean, as many guys as Randy Savage had to wrestle in his career, there is no doubt in my mind there were a lot over the years that just kind of blanked out.
Of course,
but it's how professional or how good were they at then keeping it going and keeping the flow going, right? And not melting down, to your point, and just being able to continue on with the match. So
if you didn't have enough stuff on your tool belt to just fill in the blanks, you probably shouldn't have been in that match.
Been there. There you go.
That's it.